Welcome back. Winky Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Hey, you bet.
Appreciate it.
I'm happy to be
Can
here.
you oil me just a little bit there before we get started?
All right, are you ready? Ready for this question?
Sure, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Let's do this one.
Is Dorothy Gale criminally responsible for killing the Wicked Witch of the West?
Do tell.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well,
tell.
that's a really good question.
I think it is.
So, let's go back to facts. You have to help me with the facts a little bit.
Okay.
If I recall,
Yes.
what happened was the Wicked Witch of the West had a little broom on fire.
Right.
And used that to set the Scarecrow on
Right.
fire.
Correct.
And then
Yes.
Dorothy took the bucket of water.
Right.
And threw it at the Scarecrow.
Right.
To put out the water, but it hit the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's it.
Right.
And that's what caused her to melt.
And she
Okay.
didn't know that it would cause the Wicked Witch to melt
Well,
either.
maybe she did, maybe she didn't.
Oh,
Those
she
are
didn't
facts,
know.
not
She's a
evidence.
good
We got to
kid.
think
You do
about
it on
this.
purpose. We don't know
And
that
we don't know that either. There's a
As
lot
the
of
defense attorney, I would argue she didn't know.
so
She didn't know.
there are some facts in dispute. Did she know it would kill the Wicked Witch of the West?
Okay.
Was she just acting like she was aiming at the Scarecrow and intentionally did hit the Wicked Witch of the West? So there's some facts we don't know, but let's just assume certain things from the beginning.
Okay.
First of all, is she responsible? Did her actions cause the Wicked Witch of the West's
to
death?
melt.
It did.
Yeah, it
it
did.
did.
So
It did.
there's responsibilities
Yes.
there, but is she criminally responsible? So when you have a guilty act, that's part of it, but then you have to have a guilty mind, which is called mens res. It's
Okay.
part of
She
deciding.
doesn't have a guilty mind.
Well, there's different levels of criminal responsibility. You have negligently.
Oh, okay.
Did you negligently cause someone else's death? Did you recklessly
Okay,
cause someone
there's
else's
that.
death? Did you knowingly cause someone's death? Or did you intentionally cause
Okay.
someone? So there are different standards that are going to apply. I think we could
Four
probably,
things.
if we accept the narrative as it is, then we can probably assume she didn't intentionally
Right.
or knowingly
Okay.
cause her death. But did she recklessly or negligently cause the death of another person?
It was unintentional,
She
but
was
she
trying
did
to
it.
save a friend.
Well,
Right,
that's
she
a
was.
different issue. We'll get to that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
Okay.
But first of all, I think for purposes of continuing the conversation, we can assume that at least negligently.
Right.
Let's just assume she negligently caused the death. It wasn't what she intended to do.
Right, but she
maybe
did it.
she should have been more cautious when she threw the
Okay.
water.
Okay.
And trying to put
She
the
was
Scarecrow
stressed.
out.
She was trying to help her friend.
Those are all defenses of excuse, and as Tom
Yes.
pointed out, a defense of necessity
Right.
might apply here as
Also,
well.
she didn't hit her with the whole bucket because the Scarecrow had his arm
That's
out.
true.
It hit his arm and the spillage hit her.
Which raises the question,
yeah.
was the Scarecrow responsible or maybe an accomplice by positioning the arm as such so that the water would go ahead and hit the
Wow.
witch there?
Did he know
Stay
she was
tuned
there?
for Oz 2.
So, there's a lot of issues that need to be resolved before we can get to the end of the question. But I think where we get to here ultimately is the defense of necessity, or maybe even defense of another.
Okay.
Okay. And when you ultimately break this down and think about it, who created the situation that ultimately resulted in the witch's death?
The witch.
She did.
witch
The
did.
witch did.
So I think ultimately we could probably get to the point where a jury would find that Dorothy was not criminally responsible.
Right.
But there's a lot of factors you have to go into before you reach that analysis.
So this is
So
why
interesting.
Dorothy needs to call a good attorney.
She needs a good defense attorney, absolutely.
Pretty
Yes.
simple. How did they get a hold of Winky?
Well, for the rest of the year, you can email me here at wworsham@color10.com or go to our website at willworshamlaw.com.
Good one.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. All right, don't go away. Ozarks Live. We'll be right back. Right, guy?